had. In the Standard Open on Saturday, last time you and I were here, he top-8'd. Really didn't even talk about it when he top-8'd. But then the next day, he top-8'd again and actually won the tournament with the deck.
Right.
So that was actually a pretty telling story of him being able to top-8 both tournaments and then win one of them.
Yeah, well, he's still on the same plan. He's playing against Naya Aggro, but this figures to be a tough matchup for Naya Aggro. He's playing against Naya Hexproof this round in the hands of Kale Orrmons.
I can't imagine this is a good matchup here for Barich. He's just an all-creature deck, and he's playing against a Hexproof deck that does have cards like Unflinching Courage. He's got Ethereal Armor, Madcap Skills, just going to be given the beatdowns always.
Like Kale should be able to create a creature that's large enough that Aaron will have trouble dealing with it.
And you see Barich is going to take the one here. I'm sure he would have liked to block, but Selesnya Charm is also a card in this deck. And now here's a Voice of Resurgence from Orrmons before passing the turn back. As far as Barich's deck is concerned, we've seen him try Naya variants in the past. He's got Experiment 1, he's got Voice of Resurgence, Fleeceman Line, Witch Stalker, Boon Satyr, Gorklan Rampager, and then his spells, he's got Selesnya Charm, Boros Charm, a couple copies of Advent of the Worm, a Johnny Caller Pride, and just a singleton Madcap Skills, as he's going to play a Voice of Resurgence and evolve his Experiment 1.
Yeah, so some of the same weapons actually used on Aaron's side. He has 4 Witch Stalkers in the main, and that's certainly different in the matchup. He's actually dipping in a little bit for the Hexproof strategy. He is playing Witch Stalker, he is playing Boros Charm and Selesnya Charm. That said, he's playing 1 Madcap Skills. He's not fully in on the Aura's plan.
Selesnya Charm is going to come in here, +2/+2 to the Glade Cover Scout. It's going to work its way over Voice of Resurgence for 1 trample, +2 from the other voice, so 3 damage is going to be dealt. But I'm sure Barich actually doesn't mind that, because in a lot of times in these Naya mirrors, the Elemental token is actually more important than Voice itself.
Yeah, and we see Kyle missed his 3rd land there, so this is a good opening for Aaron to actually just race Kale back, or Orrmons back in this matchup.
And he's going to play a Stomping Ground right now untapped, so that means he's definitely got something to deploy. Not sure what it's going to be. In a perfect world, he gets to evolve that Experiment 1 before attacking, and it looks like that's what's going to happen. You see a Boon Satyr over there.
Yeah, Boon Satyr and Witch Stalker in Aaron's hand.
And he's going to go with the Satyr, so going to take a very, very aggressive approach and come in here for 6. Jeez, a ton of damage.
A full 6 damage. This could be lethal as early as next turn.
He's going to draw a card. He's going to play a Madcap Skills here, and Barich says, that's fine, come on in. That'll be 4 points of damage. Barich is going to go down to, it looks like 6. But Orrmons had drawn a land on time. He's got an Unflinching Courage in his hand right now. There's a Gorklan Rampager. He says, I'm going to Blood Rush that in just a moment. Attack with everybody, and that is going to do it. So this one's probably not going to take too long, Mr. Hunt.
No, we have both decks swinging back. Neither deck is positioned well to block at all. So it's basically both players will attack, and whoever will attack until the other person's dead, I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean, this looks like it's going to be a little battle of goldfishing here. I actually think, even though Kale is down a game, I actually think that things do favor him. Yeah,
I think game 1 actually was Orrmons' best opportunity, because game 1 he has cards like Unflinching Courage and Ethereal Armor, which Barich really doesn't have answers to. Post-board, it's actually interesting. It looks like Barich, I think he has a transform sideboard where he transforms into Naya Hexproof.
Yeah, he actually does, this is very unique, and I'm sure he's taken a lot of people off guard by this. 4 Skylashers, 4 Ethereal Armors, 4 Unflinching Courage, 3 Madcap Skills, and he's already got 1 Madcap Skills in his main deck, so he can do the full-blown transformation into what he's actually playing, which is Naya Hexproof. And you think about it, think about what they see in game number 1. Of just, he's just this Naya creature deck. If you're familiar with Aaron Barich and his work, prior to this is the kind of style of deck he likes to play, which is just Naya creatures, and then he can actually transform. And he's got these Skylashers here that he can actually suit those up when he's playing his Mono Blue Devotion, so it's very innovative, actually.
Yeah, on Orrmons' side, he has a lot of different bullets in his sideboard. He's more or less what you'd expect out of a Naya Hexproof deck. He does have cards like Advent of the Worm, Mizium Mortars, Mending Touch, Glare of Heresy, Skylasher in his board. He'll probably use some of the removal spells, so things like Glare could see play here. It could take care of a Voice of Resurgence. Mizium Mortars probably will come in as well. But their decks will be a lot more similar in games 2 and 3 than they were in this first one.
You have to imagine, too, that Barich knows what he's up against here, because he saw the Glade Cover Scout and the Madcap Skills. So as such, I wouldn't be surprised if he just does sideboard into the Naya Hexproof package of his own, because just trying to play a regular game against this deck is not the best idea.
Yeah, well, there's so many Trumpish cards. Ethereal Armor and Unflinching Courage are so good in this matchup that Barich just wants to be playing them too. He doesn't want to be outclassed.
Yeah, would you say Unflinching Courage is the best card in the matchup for either player?
Well, It's It's interestingly enough, I think it's the best way the deck has to block.
Okay.
The best way you can not die to your opponent's attacks isn't blocking; it's life gain. So yeah, Unflinching Courage is among the best cards, if not the best card. I think Gorklan Rampager is pretty huge, also. To be fair.
And that's a card that Barich does have. That Orrmons does not have, so that'll definitely play to his advantage a little bit. Though he is on the draw for game number 2, so he could get run down here pretty badly. But we'll see how things do break. Pretty interesting though. We haven't seen Naya strategies really fare very well in this format, and we haven't really seen a lot of Naya Hexproof. Some did top 8 the Grand Prix in Cincinnati, we can't forget that, but it hasn't done anything too huge, not really making a lot of waves. I don't know if it's just a strategy that people don't like to play, or just because it's just not that good of a deck. It's hard to say.
Well, I think it's a little fragile right now. Its strategy is fine. It probably doesn't play enough creatures, really. It plays 4 Glade Cover Scout, 4 Voice, 4 Witch Stalker, and then 4 Celestia Charm. That's all the creatures in the deck. Which, granted, Hexproof doesn't want too many more creatures, but there only are 8 Hexproof creatures. So that's not to say the strategy is bad, just that it can be a little unreliable.
Yeah, this feels like this is the closest we're going to get to a combo deck in Standard right now, too. And I'm using combo loosely. I know that hurts you. I know it does, but this is really the closest we're going to get.
The Dudes plus Auras combo?
It's a combo. It is a combo deck. I mean,
I suppose Winter Twin is a Dude plus Aura combo.
Yeah, so you're looking at this wrong.
All right.
You're looking at this wrong. Just this one takes a little longer, that's all. Also, that one gets to, do a lot of other cool things like cast blue cards. So there is that. Both players going to take a look here at the opening hands. Looks like Kale is going to take a mulligan down to at least 6 cards here. I really am interested to see exactly how Barich does sideboard. Because I think if I'm in his shoes, I'm sideboarding into the Hexproof package. I think that's what I would want to do.
I would think so too. I think you side into the Hexproof package against most creatures decks. Actually, against most creature decks, I think you would side into the sideboard to that package. Also, you can half sideboard into it if you need to, which I think is relevant. You don't have to board in the entire Auras package. If you just want, you can just board in Unflinching Courages in some matchups.
Yeah. I would love to know, and I wish I could do a little, go back in the past and watch Barich's matches of just who he's taken by surprise with this. Because you think of all of the articles and all of the things that we've seen on Standard, Mono Black, Mono Blue, Esper, all of that stuff. There has not been anyone who has even recommended a strategy like this to my knowledge of just playing like a Naya deck and then boarding into the Hexproof.
Sure, I would agree. I don't think I've seen it either.
And he's moved into it. You see he's got a couple copies of Ethereal Armor in his hand. The question is, does he have a creature to suit up? And all Orrmons has is just a copy of Glade Cover Scout. It looks like he does have a creature.
Orrmons did not have a second land.
Yeah. Well, there is one. It's a Temple of Plenty, which can actually help to lead to a 3rd one, but he is really, really slow out of the gate here.
Yeah, he mulliganed to 6 here. Looks like he kept a 1-land Temple hand, was punished for it. But at least, he does have an aura for his guy. Hilariously enough, it's still not big enough to get through Fleecemane Lion.
Yeah, it's kind of sad, isn't it? It's just kind of sad.
Looks like he has Mizium Mortars, another Glade Cover Scout, a Voice of Resurgence in his hand. Not actually another way to get the Glade Cover Scout bigger and past Fleecemane Lion.
Yeah, Fleecemane Lion could get really mad here. 2 copies of Ethereal Armor could go onto that thing, and that's exactly what's going to happen.
Yep.
Yes, Barich is opening himself up to being ruined by a Celestia Charm here, but whatever. Let's get to the red zone.
Yeah, and that'll be a full 7 damage.
Yeah. Who's the Hexproof deck now?
Yeah, you see in Kale Orrmons' hand, he has a Mizium Mortars. Well, that's not going to be good enough. He doesn't have the red mana to begin with, even if he wanted to cast it.
And you're dead.
And, untap, double strike flying.
You are literally dead.
All right, well, short work. The old turn 4 kill out of Naya.
Eric Barich is now 5-0. All he can do is shrug his shoulders and say, yeah, it's a pretty good draw. All right.
That seems strong, yeah.
All right, I can get behind this a little bit here. Just, double suit up. All right, now I'll kill you with flying and double strike. Thanks to Johnny. 5-0 is the young master who has already won a Standard Open when we've been here before. Maybe a little repeat action.
Definitely, that was an impressive match for him. See, 41 minutes left on the clock right now.
Hey, this is the kind of deck where you get to go get lunch.
Yeah.
Go down to your local Five Guys or Jimmy John's, grab a bite to eat after that beatdown. Congratulations to Aaron Barich. We're going to have to find the backup match. Will probably be in turn 3?
Probably still in game 1. Yeah.
Chances
Depending
are
how long
very
it
high.
took to shuffle, you know. And we see there, Orrmons showing his sideboard. He boarded into a removal package with Anger of the Gods and Mizium Mortars.
Obviously didn't work for him there, and so the mulligan in the second game just didn't work out all that great for him. Just had to keep a one-lander with Temple of Plenty and just gets run down very, very quickly. It's part of the appeal of the deck, though, that Barich is playing, is that it is a very unforgiving, aggressive deck.
Yeah, when you think about it on Orrmons' side, the only way he actually has to interact with that Fleece main line is Celestia Charm at that point.
He can't kill